Am I the asshole for not offering my car to my mother? When my father passed away in 2022, our family was thrust into a whirlwind of challenges. Before, he was the pillar supporting our home, but now it is just my mother, 63, my brother, 38, and me, 26. The family dynamics are complicated. My brother is always focused on his own life, and my mother, a natural narcissist, rarely listens to others. The family business was in my name as we are seeking a loan. Unfortunately, my father passed away before transferring it, leading to bankruptcy and around 60 labor lawsuits. Legal restrictions prevent me from accessing bank accounts, so I rely on my boyfriend's account. My mom says, quote, "These people are trying to take everything from us," but I advocate for workers' rights, arguing they deserve compensation for their losses. Throughout our lives, my brother always had the upper hand. For instance, during a family trip, my father reserved the best rooms for him and his girlfriend, leaving me and my grandmother, his own mother, in inferior accommodations. My brother ended up with properties in the mountains and by the beach, building a guest house. Although my father bought these and transferred them before his death, my mother still insists my brother paid for them himself, but my grandmother confirmed otherwise. I've never had anything in my name except the company. When my brother found out it was transferred to me, he nearly tore the house down. Even when my father was alive, my brother accused our parents of secretly giving me things, earning him more bonuses to end the fights. Amid my brother's dramas, I received a significant gift from my father, an education opportunity in the USA. I was studying engineering there, but had to return to Brazil due to the pandemic. Now, I work in the morning and study architecture in the afternoon. My mother pays for my college, $110 per month, and health insurance, $55 per month, as well as rent and food. When we received $80,000 related to the company after my father's death, my mother gave my brother $20,000, claiming it was a loan. My dad took his money from my brother a while back and was constantly humiliated by him for not paying, so I respected her decision. But I feel angry since the company is in my name and I had no say in the matter. Also, I believe that all the money we receive from the company should be considered as inheritance. Then came the car. She said it was for me, but it became clear it was more hers than mine when she started smoking inside it, despite my repeated requests not to. When she needed the car, I relied on Uber or ride shares. Feeling like I have no control over my own property is distressing. My mother had always been complicated. She seemed reluctant to spend money on me, evident when I was robbed and asked to borrow money for a new phone. She refused, even though I work and intended to repay her, knowing I needed a phone for work. My boyfriend gave me his old phone to help. Another example is when it came time for graduation fees. Here in Brazil, the students themselves organize graduation parties in a way that we split all costs in several months until graduation date so that we can afford it. My mother promptly declared she wouldn't help, without even asking about the amounts. But the worst part has yet to come. She started visiting our beach house more often. On one occasion, she called me asking for money, claiming she was out. I found it odd, but I sent her $140. When she returned, she said she borrowed an additional $100 from her brother. This puzzled me since I managed the household finances and I knew money wasn't meant to run out like that. However, I didn't question it much, as I've never policed how she spends her own money. A month later, while paying bills, she held onto the phone, wanting to learn how to process electronic payments. This surprised me, as I had long encouraged her to do this to ease my workload. After my father passed away, she passed financial responsibility to me, and now I was bombarded with issues and tasks whenever I left or returned home. But the real bombshell dropped when, looking for a receipt, I discovered about 30 transactions labeled as liquid dating. I connected this to Tinder or some other dating apps. I had seen Tinder on her phone before, but I never judged or intervened in her personal life. This time, however, was too much. She spent the entire amount I'll have to pay for my graduation until 2027 in a single month. While I truly believe she accidentally used the card on the app, the lack of care and consideration devastated me. She instantly lied and tried to manipulate the situation, but I didn't fall for it. When I called my grandmother to share what happened, my mother had already spread rumors that I was crazy, saying she was spending money on an online psychologist due to her, quote, dark thoughts. This infuriated me even more, as I've dealt with depression, anxiety, and ADHD for years, and she never supported me. She proudly claimed her therapy was meditation and prayer. The one time I convinced her to take me to a psychologist, they recommended a psychiatrist, and she pulled me out saying, quote, "My daughter isn't crazy." Along with the frustration for not having autonomy over my car, I've stopped leaving the keys in the living room, and she was furious. Passive-aggressive comments about taking the bus or waiting to buy her own car are constant, but she has never asked to borrow my car. My family thinks I'm wrong for not offering the car to her. Other than that, I've heard her make comments for my family over the phone that I should have a conscience crisis for doing that because she pays my education. I spoke to my mother and said if she wanted the car, she just needed to ask directly, without indirect comments. She became furious and said it wouldn't hurt to offer the car, to which I replied she just had to ask. She said she wouldn't ask for the car anymore, then shouted insults from afar while I was in my room, as usual. So am I the asshole for not offering my car to my mother?
No. You literally said all you have to do is ask, and she's not even willing to ask?
Yeah.
But do you disagree?
Well, I don't know. She says she's like purposely keeping the keys away from her because she was smoking in her car. Like she doesn't want her driving it in the first. She doesn't want her mom driving the car.
No, exactly. She's keeping the keys away because she was smoking in the car, and that's not her property to smoke in. Like, that is so disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I would be that kind of petty. I mean, I don't even know if it's petty. It's just like, that's my property. If you want to be an adult and ask me, like, that's fine. I will give it to you. But you're not even willing to ask me. Like, you're just going to be passive aggressive about it and making comments about taking public transit and such.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, that's not mature.
No.
You need to be mature enough to have an adult conversation and ask for something that's not yours.
That's true. Yeah, it's just weird how it went from, like, she just had, like, full reign, and then she took the keys away, and then she's like, yeah, she just has to ask me for it.
I think that's totally fair. Yeah. I could be wrong. I don't know.
It sounds like a really messy situation. I feel for her. Losing her dad has sent her family into a whirlwind of everything.
I'm really confused on the Tinder fees because...
Yeah, I don't understand how you can spend that much.
Okay, so I'm trying to also judge how much a graduation is in Brazil because it seems like their like post-secondary fees are not that expensive.
Yeah, $118 a month?
Like, I mean, it's all relative, but like here in Canada, it is a lot more than that.
You're like $10K a year.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to, I guess, guesstimate what her mom is paying on Tinder fees because like, what can you possibly be spending money on? Just like premium? Just so, like, I've never been on Tinder. Maybe you have some insight on that.
When I was on Tinder, it was all free.
Oh, okay.
It had just come out, so they hadn't had all the scams on there yet.
So I feel like Tinder, let me see, subscription tiers on Tinder. So the most expensive is Tinder Platinum, and you get to message before matching, prioritize likes, see the likes you've sent in the last 7 days, and everything you love from Tinder Gold.
All scam.
Okay.
Gimme scam.
So how much is this? Oh, I don't want to get started.
Are you signing up for Tinder?
No.
What is this?
Okay, regardless, I'm just like, is this like the most I can think that would be is like maybe $30 a month, which is like on the more expensive side. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I see, I'm not too sure because she's saying she spent the entire amount I'll have to pay for my graduation until 2027 in a single month.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit confused about the costs there.
I have no idea.
Me either.
There's an edit, and she says, "The thing is, I cannot have anything under my SSN while the lawsuits are still on. My lawyer advised me, and I truly trust him since he graduated with my dad and they were friends. Sometimes I feel he is the only one worried about my future. My dad had some debt, and we transferred the company to me in hopes to get a loan, but that failed. We were beginning the procedure to transfer it back to him, but COVID got him. So the car is registered to my mother. The bank apps are on her phone. She receives and manages the money.
Oh.
We are tight on money, but she never accepts any of my advice on how to save some more, and sometimes she even gets to the same conclusion that I got months after and acts like it was her idea. Bugs me, but I always ignore it. After all, I'm the little bitch who makes the payments. Well, not anymore. I stopped helping around, but at the same time I kept my car keys. The $60,000 left after she gave my brother the money were used to buy this car. The rest of the money vanished in a year. I make around $320 a month, and my mom makes around $1,400 a month. My brother makes more. I guess she said the car was mine for not feeling guilty about the money that she sent to my brother, and was manipulating me into thinking the car was really mine, while she acted in many ways that shouted that it was hers. I've had enough and thought, well, now I'm going to act like this is actually mine. Buddy GPT helped me for the first post because I was in a rush, but now it's me writing for you guys. Thank you for pitching in. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I love ChatGPT. It really helps me too. Okay. So yeah, we got some more context here with this edit. So it seems like the car might not actually be OP's.
She was told it is, but mom, I don't know, just wanted it to seem that way. But
yeah, it seemed like mom was just doing it to look good to her, but like didn't actually want to give her the rights and privilege to it.
Yeah, seems like it.
This is a little bit messy.
Very messy.
So I think it's also a little bit crazy for me that they spent $60,000 on a car when they are only making around $1,400 a month.
I don't know if they spent that much money on it.
She said.
She just said the rest of it disappeared. She said they used that money to buy the car, and then the rest disappeared.
The money vanished in a year.
So I doubt the car was that expensive, but who knows?
Okay. Moral of the story. No, I don't think you're an asshole. I think, sorry, I don't even know if you were asking if you were the asshole or not. But I think you have probably been pushed in a corner, and like this is the only way you can kind of get a little bit of revenge, or like not even revenge, but just like get what's rightfully yours.
Yeah.
Like she was promised a car.
Yeah. I would say just keep going to school, keep your head down, try to be drama free and save your money too, so that you will have freedom to do what you need to do in the future.
Yeah, I was also thinking like I feel like you need to move out.
Can they afford it? I don't know. So that's why I'm saying
No.
like go to school, get your stuff done, save your money so that you can move out and get away when it's feasible for you.
No, exactly. Like once it's feasible, I just feel like if it were me in this situation, like your whole family dynamic, it just seems like it would be a lot for me and like very overwhelming. So I think like my priority in the situation would be once I start making good money, like my goal would be to move out to kind of get away. I guess that's what I did.
I was gonna say
in real life.
Would be or was is did done.
That's what I've done. So that's my advice to you.
All right, moving on.